So this is what I'm doing. I got a recent message on YouTube, and so I thought I should do this video over again, and I thought I would also share with you what this person said. So her name is Lainey Parker 5730. Thank you, Lainey, for sending me this message. She said, so I stumbled on your YouTube while watching tons of videos that didn't really help our household issue. Literally, for decades, we both worked and were clueless on how to handle the ebb and flow of dirty dishes. We kidded around hoping the elves would start coming by at night while we slept to do cleanup, but they never did. Finally, after 45 years of marriage and just the two of us, we were inspired after watching your video to develop a system that seems to be working. Thank you. I've noticed that this video and comments are quite old, so I hope that you are still around to receive our truly appreciative thanks. So first of all, I love that. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm still around. And it also helped me to see that I need to be more out there. And that was like 12 years ago, I think. So I've been doing this a long time. And so what I thought I would do today is to share what it is that I talked about in that dirty dishes video, and also something that I can add. Two things actually that I can add to it. So the first thing that I said was, I'm going to tell you to do something. And if it was coming from one of my organized friends, one of my organizationally gifted friends or family members, I would want to slap her upside the head. But coming from somebody that has been there and done that and understands me, if somebody that I knew had overcome the continued ebb and flow, as Lainey has put it, of just cleaning a mess, I would accept it without feeling judged. So what I want to say is, do the dishes. Every single time you have a dish and you use it, just do it right there and then. So if you have a cup and you just have a cup of coffee, don't just put it in the sink. Rinse it out, do what you got to do, put it in either the dish drain or your dishwasher. Every time you use a knife to make a sandwich, a plate to have that sandwich on, a glass to have a drink, when you're going to put it in the sink, don't put it in the sink, don't put it on the counter, don't leave it on the table. Do it right then and there. This is one of the additions that I'm talking about. I want you to see things like a way that you realize who you are and how you tick. We have a warped perception of time, us organizationally challenged people, and we think that everything takes too long. So we think, oh, I'll do that later, because we think it takes too long. We won't be able to do it. So what I have developed was this way to cut short that freaking warped perception of time that we have. And it's a habit I call count Mississippis, or you could say count elephants. 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Whenever you're thinking this is going to take too long, count Mississippis. So when you say, oh, I'll just put it in the sink or whatever, you say, oh, no, I'm going to do it. And then count Mississippis. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You'll find out it probably took 5 seconds. Sometimes the very most of like cleaning up after lunch that you've made on the counter or something, 10 seconds. These things that have been taking you days and weeks to catch up on, if done in real time, takes seconds to do. So there's that. Another one is after dinner. Make it a new standard that you will never walk away from dinner again, that it's just not acceptable. I say it's just like you would never walk away from the bathroom without wiping your butt, right? You wouldn't. You would never say, I'll do that later. There's people out there in the world that would never, ever consider leaving the kitchen after dinner without cleaning up. So make that a priority, that's one of your new standards. And of course, it's dishes. So when you're done with dinner, you do your dishes. Now, I had a way that I dealt with this when I didn't live alone and when I was with family, that each person, I had 5 children, and so this can work whether you're living with grown people, little people, anybody that's able to do their dish, they do their dish. So after you're done having dinner, every single person is responsible for their own place setting, whatever they used. And if they had a guest over, then they're responsible for the guest too. We won't get into dinner time cleanup or anything. We're just talking about dishes now. Now, another thing that you might want to do or need to do is, if right now you have a lot of dishes to do because you're just starting out on this new habit of doing the dishes, if that's the case, then just fill up like a half of the sink with sudsy water, put some soap in it, make it all sudsy, get the dishes in there that'll fit. Wait a few minutes, not too long. You don't want the water to get cold, but you need to leave it a few minutes just so that the stuff that's been stuck on is not stuck on anymore. And then do them. Rinse them, put them in the drain, or you could just scrape them so that they'll come clean, put them in the dishwasher. And then if you have more, you just keep repeating. You put them in the sink, let them soak a little bit, do them, get them done. Now you have a fresh start. And you tell whoever it is that you live with, if you don't live alone, look, this is what we're doing from now on. We are going to do our dish immediately. Treat it like it's a community kitchen. Have you ever gone on a retreat or stayed somewhere where there was like a community kitchen? And when you go into the kitchen, or I guess it could even be like if you work somewhere and there's like a kitchen that is available to people, there's a rule. Nobody leaves anything. And so that's what I want you to convey to the people that you live with. That's what we're doing. Nothing is left. Everything that you use, you do it now. That's a habit that we've got going on. Do it now. And status quo principle. You may feel like, well, what's the difference? Like if your kitchen is a mess, on top of the fact that you don't do dishes, you might be thinking, well, why bother? What's the difference? It's just a disaster. Practice the status quo principle so that as you're moving forward, creating new habits and new standards for yourself, that no mess is having any babies. Nothing is getting worse than it is right now. Everything is staying status quo so that as you move ahead doing work, you're not sabotaging your efforts along the way. Okay? All right, so there's that. Thanks for being with me. And if you need any help, please email me, okay? Kathy at the Tiny Tutor. You can private message me, okay? And I'm available to help you. All right, now let's see if I can shut this thing. Bye.